What's up, guys? Discussion time, and today I want to cover something, and I see it a lot. I see a lot of complaints about keys and Moris, and the hatch mechanic. So, how I want to talk about this is I want to say the devs' logic for how they want a game is very flawed. Now, I don't expect to get a 4K, 3K every game. I'm actually fine with a 2 for 2, even a 1K to an extent if I feel like I've done everything I could, if I've played a pretty fair game, in my opinion, stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest. I think Keys and Moris both should be changed completely, or just be removed from the game entirely. I know there's a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about it. I know a lot of people are like, oh well, if killers have Moris, survivors have keys, if survivors have keys, that's why we have Moris. And I get that they put a lot of time into the Mori system and into creating these Moris for. Let me turn this down. And they put a lot of time into designing them, So I don't want to say that we just get rid of Moris or things completely. But my biggest issue with the in-game collapse mechanic, and it goes kind of around the issue with keys. What I don't like about keys is it rewards a lot of what's it called, optimal play, and by that I mean the example being survivors can 3gen themselves if they won't because they know they might have a key, and the example being one person dies, there's three left, they 3gen themselves, it's a hard 3gen that I'm trying to punish them for, and they use keys. And now a lot of this also sucked because the devs put out tomes that require using keys, and I honestly hate that because I hate using Moris as well. I find Moris just not fun. I don't really enjoy them. I very rarely use them. I just don't. It's not fun. It's not fun gameplay for me to just hook someone once, and I can just get rid of them whenever I want. Now, granted, the Moris are awesome. Deathslinger has an amazing Mori. Oni Mori. Hag Mori is ruthless. I love it. Okay? Like, I'm not going to deny that. But I think when we look at the balance and overall, gameplay of it, and I understand because survivors, there's games where killers bring certain add-ons like Iridescent Head, Forever Freddy builds, which I also hate. Where they bring that and the game just feels so like just unbalanced in that aspect to where it's like we should have a key to escape, and I understand that. Um, one of the things that I would like to change is I would like to get rid of the Ebony Mori. I don't find the Ebony Mori. It doesn't promote good gameplay. People act like it doesn't happen often, but you get an Ebony a lot of times, and what sucks is when high rank killers use an Ebony and they don't use it for the kill, but they just use it if they feel they're getting beat, and I hate that as well. On the survivor side, I think keys are annoying. I think if you're playing a killer that is not in good standing in terms of viability, that it punishes that killer who might have to set up. For example, killers like Trapper, Hag to an extent, because corrupt intervention isn't always that great. I played a game the other day with Ghostface. Corrupt intervention and gens still popped. I had 3 gens pop 3 minutes into the game. Part of that was my own fault. I was in chase for a minute and a half, but I was also in 2 different chases in that minute and a half, which is pretty crazy to me. Now I understand, we've nerfed toolboxes and the repair efficiency. People are overreacting. That's not a really a crazy nerf when you look at it. It adds like nothing. It adds like no time. 5 seconds extra, I think, for 2 people on a gen. Absolutely nothing. That's still huge compared to one person in 80 seconds. But that's not what we're going to talk about here. Moris, it's just not fun. Um, Most of the Moris are pretty basic anyway. They're coming out with cool Moris. I'm fine with Rancor, Devour Hope, stuff like that. I'm fine with the Cypress Mori, which is killing the last survivor, even though it's kind of weird. Like I'd rather Cypress Mori just be like you can Mori a survivor that's been hooked twice in the end game, something like that. Green Mori, you can argue keeping that, but But then you also have to argue keeping not green keys because that's a terrible comparison. Green key to green Mori is absolutely horrific. It's not a good comparison. But you'd have to argue keeping like the purple keys, and there's really no difference between purple and red. But that's kind of my issue with it. Is it awards? There's things that reward killers, like for example, no ed. But the difference is no ed rewarding a killer that doesn't get a lot of hooks during the game and loses. That killer's still not gonna pip off of a no ed play, most likely. They might safety pip, and it's not as rewarding. And if you're that survivor team that has looped this killer and you've done all the gens and all this other stuff, you're gonna rank up anyway because the way the emblem system is, it's set so survival is not a heavily weighted emblem. It's one of the least weighted emblems because the devs don't expect survivors to survive. It is a little bit catered to survivors in that way, in my opinion. And it's kind of the same way with Gatekeeper, right? When they changed the Gatekeeper emblem because they acknowledged with Ruin being gone, gens are going to go fast. They didn't realize that gens going faster is gens go. Sorry, that was just so hilarious to see me misplay so pathetically there. Games going faster also means you're not getting malicious points. You're not getting devout points. You're not getting the hooks that you normally would. So just adjusting the Gatekeeper emblem, sure, I might get iridescent more often than not, but at the same time, I'm still losing out on other emblems that affects all the emblems because those emblems require actually, using your power, getting hits, and if the game's going by quicker, you're getting like half as much hits and all that. So while I agree the Gatekeeper change is absolutely amazing, I do enjoy it. I think there are a few things that I would change regarding hatch and Moris and keys. I would remove pretty much all the Moris. I would make keys maybe attainable only in the basement or something like that. I don't know. Or even, I mean, it's a weird thing because keys have been in here for so long. They sometimes feel unfair. And the reason I'm also playing this game while I talk right here, this is a game I play with Hag, is this is a big example, and this happens more often than not. It happened in a spirit game where I had hatch open twice on me. It's hard to get rid of keys. Even like you don't want to have to tunnel a person as a killer, in my opinion. That's just me. And when I try to make the game a little bit more fun for everyone, not tunnel as much unless I absolutely have to. That's if I'm caring about rank. Then that's the issue there. But the problem with the hatch mechanic, and the thing that I hate the most about the hatch is that when it's open, and you close it, all the gens, you don't have to do any more gens. And I hate that. I hate that two survivors left, or even three survivors left and one gen. Open the hatch, you close the hatch. They don't have to do any more gens, and there's two survivors left. Say one person is selfish and leaves their team. Two survivors left, and they just got to go to exit gate. And they might have adrenaline. And you just kind of get rewarded for nothing there. And these sound like very like nitpicky specific scenarios, but they actually happen quite often, more often than you would think in this game. And one of the biggest examples is here. I have a pretty decent 3 gen. I think how long does this game last? So from 10 minutes, they don't. Let's see. Well, let's see how long I had 1 gen left. I want you to see this. So pretty good. They let someone die on hook to get 2 gens done. Is basically what happened while I was chasing Meg. And then this person ends up dying, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, they let him die. So I think it's like a 3-man survive with friends here. And they let him die because, if they get down to 1 gen and have a key, boom, perfect scenario, the random dies. I'm trying not to camp the random, obviously. And now they look how close these gens are. Okay, so let's see. And this happens to me. It happened to me on Haddonfield. A survivor DC'd to get the hatch after I finally killed one because I was playing Huntress. So let me see. Let me show you. So you got the 1 gen there, 1 gen right there, and there's actually one in the house. So that's a 3 gen basically for Hag. It's a really good 3 gen for Hag. A lot of gens can be 3 gens for Hag, but you can waste a lot of time if they're too far apart. That being said, here's the issue that I have, and it's so we hook them here. We're spreading hooks out. We're not tunneling. We're keeping gen pressure up. We still have Ruin, which has been pretty poor, but it's already tough for Hag on this map, in my opinion. Teleport there. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't even know what happened there. Did he have borrowed and just bleed out? I don't even remember. I don't even know. So yeah, so here's what happens, and I already know what the plan is here. I didn't see him have a key in the lobby, but this was my guess. With the way they had hatch there, I knew that just the way he had been playing, I knew he wanted the hatch. Um, I go for the hook and leave hatch open, which is a little pretty risky. And I go close the hatch, and now they don't have to do the gens anymore, right? You know, and that kind of sucks. It's an annoying feeling because you get to open the hatch early. I have to close it, and now it ends the gens early, which I feel like it shouldn't do. You know, I can't remember. This game wasn't an exact example of them. I don't know if I closed the hatch twice this game. That's what it was, I think. Um, so yeah, go back over here, and this is the other problem. I hate that it reopens like at the end when there's one person like close the hatch twice in a game. Like now, granted, nothing was happening, but I've had that happen with and let's see if I can pull up a spirit game real quick for you guys. I'm actually gonna pause this real quick, see if I can't pause and try to how do I pause it? All right, so this was a spirit game I had a while back. And if you don't know, I'm a spirit main. This was a pretty casual game, you guys. So you see the situation. One hook. Let's see, another hook, 2 hooks total, 3 hooks total, 4 hooks total, 5 hooks total, 6, 7, 8, 9. The reason I count that is because you're supposed to get awarded iridescent after 9 hooks. Strong 3-gen situation, I think it was. Was it strong? It might not have even been strong. 1, 2. Well, not even really. Actually, it wasn't even really a good 3-gen situation here. Is the problem. So this is going to be another example of one of the most frustrating games I've had, you guys. And this is why I think the hatch mechanic needs to be readjusted. So one opens the hatch, I body block. They're all trying to escape. That's fine. I close it, right? One has adrenaline. I go after this Dwight. No problem, right? We got the hatch here. Do we hook the Dwight? Where's the Dwight at? We hook him. Come here, Dwight. We hook Dwight and kill him, which is, again, I'm already past 9 hook actions. We're guarding the doors. Now, to be fair, I agree with what most people say, where doors should be farther apart. I think it's a pretty good distance, though. For a spirit, pretty great distance. And what do you know? This is just so frustrating to me because... I mean, you get them where there's 3 gens left. Majority of them all death hook. I'm pretty sure. I think I got what 10 hooks total. So like, or yeah, is it 10? Yeah, because I ended up getting 2 and then 11, 12. This would be right here. I know where hatch is. I think it opens anyway, but I think she ended up having a key, I believe, right? Wait a minute. I closed it the first time. Yeah, I think I get to the screen and she had a key. Yes, so because yes, which although it does wait, I might be wrong, but it's saying find the exit. There's the hatch. She's able to get back in, but let me check. Did they have to have 2 keys? It won't show me. This was, I believe, hatch opened anyway. Let me see. Was this actually done? Was the sacrifice animation done? So it might have reopened, but I'm pretty sure in my messages we had a conversation. I was like, did you have 2 keys or did it open? I still get ruthless, but the problem is like the fact that it can open twice is so frustrating to me, to be honest. And then DCing for people that DC to give their friend hatch, that happens a lot, and not only does that person not end up saving the last person, you lose a hook action, they escape. It's really frustrating, especially when this happens here. And I'm going to show one more example. Alright, so this was another one here. Oops, let's see. This was one that I got. This game went pretty quick. I'm not a fan of Haddonfield because I'm not that good on Haddonfield, to be honest. They really did get most of the gens done, but they got all the safe gens done. And I get a 3-gen. I'm not going to talk too much. Not too much gameplay here to watch. I have a kill. And they disappear for a long time. They don't do gens for a long time. I don't know where anyone's at. So I'm assuming they're looking for hatch. Because I think one of them had a key. Can't remember. But that's how frustrating it is, though, is I'm punishing them for a 3-gen. This one was, I think, looking for a key, yeah. Like, I punished them for the 3-gen. Ignore that terrible shot, because that was totally my fault. I get them in a 3-gen. I'm rewarded for the 3-gen, as I should be, because they chose to do the most unsafe gens. And this is what's going to happen. And look how long they're on 1-gen, by the way. Look at 5 minutes in, you know, not bad. 5 minutes in, gen time, that's fine. You know, I messed up on some chases. 6 minutes. So we're like, what is it, 4 minutes in now? 6 to 10, so 4 minutes. Do we get to 5 minutes? Yeah. Like, look how long 1-gen is left, and they choose not to work on the gen. I think they're looking for hatch. And then the best thing, the thing that I love the most about this game, because this continues to be an issue of, what's it called? I don't even slug for the 4K. I don't even slug for the 4K. You know what? If you hate being slugged, go ahead. You DC, that's fine. Also, why the hell did she DC? Oh yeah, because she knew. Oh yeah, so she was still alive. Yeah. So this is how annoying it is. So while I'm wasting my time going to the basement, because I'm sure she's relaying to her friend, hey, I'm going to the basement. I'm Death Hook. Do you know where Hatch is? Yeah, I know where Hatch is. I'll DC. So I lose another potential hook towards the category, and I know this is a lot of complaining, but that's the issue. DCs, this person standing on Hatch, you'll see once this animation, I believe they were. I could be wrong. Yeah, right on Hatch. So, like, that's what the issue with this game. And I go brutal killer. I safety pip. I lose 2 extra hooks, a potential sacrifice. The DC bonus doesn't give you enough points. The emblem system is a little weird. And yeah, one of them brought a key. So this game where I could be getting rewarded for the 3-gen, because that's the whole thing is the devs say is to apply pressure, right? And look, I get it. There's things that I want nerfed for the killer side too. I want some of Freddy's stuff nerfed. There's a video that I'll do on that. I want Huntress iridescent heads out of here. I played against like a rank 2 and a rank 4 Huntress. Both were running iridescent heads 2 games in a row. Not even the same killer, or I mean same player. Frustrating. I get it. There's things I would remove from the killer side, 100%. Okay, I'm fine with potentially removing Bloodlust 2 and 3 with the new infinite changes. Okay. The only reason I'm for keeping it is because it's not often that you get Bloodlust. It's easily to break, and people will say, you know, well, if it's not important and that minuscule, why do you still want it? And it's because there's new players that, you know, aren't gonna want to delve on YouTube too much trying to figure out how to be the best killer. They're gonna learn on their own. They want to learn on their own, so they're gonna kind of see like, oh, I don't have to use this Bloodlust mechanic. I'm playing pallets better. I don't have to worry. That's why I want to keep it, because we have to look at it from a new player perspective, as we did with Ruin. Okay, that's just how we're going to talk about that. So, but again, one person dead, and all it takes is these 3 people on comms to find the hatch. I think I get lucky here, because by the time they die, which was, well, actually, never mind. Yeah, so 1-gen left still, and they could be looking. I think it's 1-gen. Yeah, 1-gen. They have, you know, they have forever to look for the hatch, dude. And that's just something, it sucks, because if they all 3 escape, I get punished for, in my opinion, doing my job, because I feel like, how many hooks did I actually get this game? We'll count them as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a kill. So 5 and a kill. If they all escape, I lose out on 7 potential hook actions, which I need to actually rank up. So let's see, do we get 6? We do get a 6th hook right here. They get escaped. We get a 7th hook. This person DCs. This person was, I don't even know, they were on their first hook. Literally first hook. So, and that's the problem, is I feel like we need a delay. If someone DCs within a certain amount of time of the hatch spawning, or, well, let's just say how it does. If there's 2 people left and one person DCs, there should be a noise notification on the last survivor and a delay on the hatch. That's how it should be. You should not be able to DC. People don't care about penalties, okay? Like people will wait. Lobby times are like 12 minutes for at the red ranks. Like so nobody cares about the little like 2 minute penalty. It adds up. But at the same time, you don't run into that situation of DCing too often with some of these red rank teams because they play really well and can all escape, or they just have the key, like for example here. That being said, when it does happen, it's annoying, and I'm seeing it more and more with the last two survivors. And it really sucks when one of the survivors is a survivor you haven't hooked at all because they've been kind of hiding, they haven't taken aggro, you've been forced to go after someone else. So that being said, this needs to be changed. I really think it needs to be changed. That's really frustrating to me as a killer. I don't expect a 4K, but I want you to be punished more. Like, look, there's 2 kills in a DC. DC doesn't even count towards a kill. It actually gives you, for those that don't know, I think you get a point or two towards what sacrifice would be, if I'm not mistaken, which actually doesn't make up for the fact that you miss hook actions on someone, which is 2 more on this person. So, say the 2 hook actions is worth 4 points, you get like 1 point for the quitter bonus, or 2 points. So it's still not enough though because you don't get the sacrifice. There's a quitter bonus that gives you a hook action, but it does not give you the sacrifice, which is another weighted part of that category. And that just goes back to the emblem system. So let's see if I can actually pause it on the emblems here. So we'll see if this actually works real quick. Hold up. And that's why I want there to be a delay on the hatch mechanic. I want, if you close the hatch, yeah, I didn't get to look at my emblems yet. If you close the hatch, it should not put the game in the end state. 3 gens and 2 people left. Or no, let's see, 3 gens, or no, 2 gens and 2 people left. You know, one can escape through the hatch. I close it, and then there's still 2 gens left. Sure, it's unfair to the last person. But it sucks though because it's like I had that in another game with I think it was Spirit where someone used a key. I closed the hatch. There was one person left with 2 gens left. Um, and now I have to wait for the hatch to reopen because there's one person left because that's what's going to happen. And to me, it's kind of frustrating. It really is frustrating to me. I know it's frustrating to a lot of players. And look at this. So Devout, hooking each person, you do get bronze. Look how far away I am from gold despite almost having 9. I think I had 6 or 7 hook actions, right? 9 is supposed to be rewarded for iridescent, but it does not give that to you whatsoever. And then, Chaser was fine. Gatekeeper was fine. Malicious. The reason I hate the malicious category is because if a survivor heals, you get a penalty, a huge penalty. It's real. The penalty's huge. -14 is crazy. You get 11 for survivor disconnects as opposed to where's the devout emblem? Let's look at that because I want you to see why I'm DCing. Just it sucks because I do want to rank up. Like I give hatch in a majority of my games. Like a lot of times, I do try to play as a fair killer. And it just sucks when you feel like there's something that you can't do. Let's see if you can click this. Click it. Fuck, I couldn't even click it. I'm like right there at it. I'm trying to make this video too long though. 21. I didn't do it fast enough. That's what she said. Fuck, dude. So close. Hold up. I really want to try to zoom in on the emblem, but anyway. That's the problem with it. I'd probably remove most of the Moris from the game and rework them. I'd rather Moris be able to happen on Death Hook. I'd rather keys just not be as big of a part of the game because it just rewards greedy survivors and just if one person dies, like it's really hard against certain teams on certain maps and to punish someone for a 3-gen situation, but they can still just DC to give their friend hatch. And look, I got 2 kills. I'm fine with it. What I don't like is the safety pill. I feel like I should have ranked up from that match. I feel like I played that pretty good. No no-ed, no tunneling. I pretty much did what I felt I could. So maybe that's something that gets changed in the future, but these are just examples of, what happens pretty consistently because every killer main has a good amount of stories, and I will say sometimes it's blown out of proportion because um, the pain of a loss is twice that of the reward of a gain. So you can pip, get a 4K, and then have one match where you could 4K twice in a row, and then have a match where you get obliterated, and you'll just keep remembering that match because that's just how the human mind works. It's the psychology behind it. But what do you think? I mean, would you like to see a delay for the hatch tech, which is what people call it, DCing? Should gens still be able to be just finished or whatever? Because another thing that sucks is you get points for the gates being closed, but closing hatch doesn't give you gatekeeper points that I'm aware of. So it's almost better to give the last person a hatch than it is to risk them opening gates. Because you saw how much points I got for the gates, right? 28 towards the gatekeeper emblem. Like it doesn't get better than that. So there's a lot of things wrong with the emblem system, as I've said before, and there's things wrong with Moris and keys. Again, look, 28. That's literally a third, just about like that's a third of the total generator defense, almost iridescent. But what do you think? Would you get rid of keys? Would you get rid of Moris? I would gladly give up all my Moris for keys. I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy anything that rewards free wins. I get it. Survivors need hope. Survivors need an alternative to escape. I get it. I play solo survivor. I was at rank 1 solo survivor. I understand that you want to feel like you have a chance, um, to be honest. But that being said, maybe some changes to in-game collapse. I don't know. I think Moris and keys have been an issue for a long time. I mean, it's one of those things. The devs pride themselves on those designs and stuff like that, and having these awesome Moris that are like flavorful to the killers and really cool. And I respect that. I'm fine with the Rancors and Devour Hope. Let me know what you think though. Keys, Moris, would you get rid of them? Would you fix the in-game collapse? How would you fix the hatch? I'm trying to give a perspective from both sides because I know how it feels for Survivor. Other things that you would nerf, that you would like to get rid of, anything that you would like, or how you feel. Feel free to comment things that you would change. Um, and how you feel about the emblem system for killers. I think it's really weird. I think it needs to be reworked quite a bit. Now, there's a new MMR system coming out, so this is going to be kind of an outdated thing because they are trying to make it based on you killing people of higher rank rewards you more. But I'm curious to see how that's going to pan out and if they can get that down with the way matchmaking and dedicated is. That being said, I hope this gave some insight, and I hope this was an interesting video, you guys. I like doing little mini discussions. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.